Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Beautiful. It's good to be here. If you can hear me, I want you to type, I can hear you. If you can hear me, I want you to type, I can hear you. Welcome to today's session on overcoming imposter syndrome and the fear of being seen. Great, beautiful. Can you hear me? I want you to type it on the comment section. It's good to have each and every one of us this evening. And today we're learning quite a number of things, strategies we can implement in order for us to effectively take ourselves from that point where we have no online presence to the point whereby we have or we can confidently talk about our knowledge, talk about our expertise, talk about the things we can do online and even physically, because a number of us, certain things have held us back, certain things have prevented us from effectively communicating the value we have. Certain things have held us back from effectively showcasing ourselves out there. And one of the issues about this is you can be good at something, but if people don't know that you are good of, or if people don't know that you are good in that thing, you may be limiting yourself. Today, in today's edition of the Digital Business Growth Series, we'll be considering the topic overcoming imposter syndrome and the fear of being seen. We are focusing primarily on how you can build a digital presence that feels like you. How you can build a digital presence that feels like you. Now, looking at various things, talking about the perfect time meet, we'll be defining what imposter syndrome is, and also be talking about um, the fear of being seen. I'll be walking you through the connection over perfection framework. I'll also be walking you through a mindset shift strategy to silence every inner critic within you. Then you'll be receiving practical steps to start consistently without being overwhelmed. Practical steps to start your journey without being overwhelmed. And also we'll be defining what digital success actually looks like for you, how you can be able to gauge your progress, how you can be able to tell whether you are effectively impacting people or effectively, delivering valuable content. And after each and every of the things I'm going to be presenting to you this evening, I'll be listening to your questions and even sharing with you certain strategies you can apply in order for you to be exceptional on the digital space. If you're excited about this session already, I want you to type in the comment section. I want you to type in the comment section. Can you hear me? Where are you connecting from before we proceed? Can type on the comment section. Beautiful. 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 Oh, I can see Faith. Interesting. Great. So let's go get into what we have for today. Oh, I can see. Okay, someone says connecting from Kaduna. Okay, Faith is connecting from PH. That's Port Harcourt City in Nigeria. Beautiful. Who else do we have on the call this evening? Who else do we have on the call this evening? Let me get to see each and every one of us. Just your name and where you're connecting from. Beautiful. I can see a name, 3D Bible Adventures, connecting from the city of Kaduna State. Beautiful. Beautiful. Amazing. Can we get one more person before we proceed? Ogun State. Interesting. I can see Amos. Amos, my very good colleague. All right. Good to have each and every one of us here. Now, let's get into what we have today. Now, who am I? My name is Calvin Antonza, and I am a digital growth strategist, and I am dedicated to helping professionals navigate the digital space. So we have quite a number of people today that make use of the internet, or they don't know how to navigate the online world. I am a professional in helping people navigating such situation. And as a founder of Capital Digital Agency, we specialize in digital marketing, website design and graphic design, branding, video production, and also editing. We also specialize in social media management. And I am a certified authority in digital marketing, by holding multiple certifications from Meta, LinkedIn, and also HubSpot. Now, what do we have for today? We'll be going deep into, quite a number of things, quite a number of strategies we can apply in our lives, right? Now, before we get into today's work, I would like to ask you a question. How many times have you written a post that you would like to make online, and all of a sudden, you just change your mind? Maybe you even recorded a video or even edited a video, and then you looked at your content, and then something within you told you that that content wasn't good enough. Something within you told you that that thing you recorded, or that video you recorded, it wasn't good enough. Maybe you have even watched other people in your industry or in your niche, and then something within you tells you that you need to be perfect before you start putting yourself out there. Another thing may be, something within you telling you that you need to be an expert in your field before you should start creating content, before you should start putting out yourself on Facebook or even on Instagram. So I'm here to tell you something, that you may be waiting for the right time to post such kind of content, but the right time that you may be waiting for does not exist. One of the things that hold us back, or hold a number of people back, is waiting for the right time in order to take action. You have created the content, you have even edited the video, you've hired a graphic designer to design you a flyer, but you are telling yourself that you have to wait for a new month to come before you start posting. Right? You have maybe gone ahead to edit your video, and then you are saying that no, you won't start posting video content till next year. I'm here to tell you that the right time does not exist. You telling yourself that you are waiting for the right time is just another way of saying that you are not good enough. It's just another way of telling yourself that what you have is not good enough. It's just another means of you giving yourself an excuse. An excuse. Now, moving to the next slide, let's see. There are certain things we have told ourselves that we need to have in place before we start posting our content. And most times, you post your content out there, and you now notice that your post isn't getting as much reach as you want. Then you begin to blame the algorithm because you are not getting many likes that you desire. Are we together? Now, this situation that happens to you, you waiting for the right time for you to show up, is simply called imposter syndrome. And in one way or the other, many of us have maybe battled with this when we were growing up. And unfortunately, it has now, gotten to the point whereby it is affecting us subconsciously as adults. So what is imposter syndrome itself? It is the voice that says that, is the voice that tells you, who are you to teach this thing? It's the voice that asks you that, are you an expert in this field? Are we together? Imposter syndrome ignores your many years of experiences and focuses on your insecurity. It focuses on your insecurity. What do I mean? Imposter syndrome has a way of, magnifying your insecurity, magnifying the things you are not good at, and it makes you to lose focus on your strengths and focus your attention on your weakness. If you can hear me, I want you to type "I can hear you" on the comment section. If you can hear me, I want you to type "I can hear you" on the comment section. Imposter syndrome is that thing that tells you, who are you to teach this particular thing? It tells you in your mind that you are a fraud. Imposter syndrome tells you that someone else knows better than you do. So it ignores the many years of experiences that you have and makes you to focus on the things that you are not good at. And at the end of the day, you end up not taking action in certain things that you need to post. It makes you to end up not taking action in certain things that you say you want to put out there. Are we together? Imposter syndrome is simply the fear of being seen, even when you know you have the answer to the solution of people's problem. Imposter syndrome is simply the fear of being seen, even when you have the answers to people's problem. But I want to make you to understand something. If you don't put out the solutions to people's problem that you have, you reduce your chances of being valuable. You reduce your chances of being valuable. As long as you have the solution to people's problem, it is your responsibility to put it out there on social media. So you need to stop, fighting with the algorithm and start fighting with this fear, the fear of being seen. Because the truth is that you cannot impact people if you are invisible. You cannot impact people if you are invisible. You cannot impact people if you are invisible. I'm repeating myself so that you can be able to get the key points from tonight's session. Because many people at the end of the day are very intelligent. Many people at the end of the day are very knowledgeable, but in one way or the other, they have limited themselves from sharing the knowledge that they have. They have limited themselves from sharing the knowledge that they have. And at the end of the day, people wouldn't get to discover how valuable that they are. Now, moving on. The most important concept we'll cover tonight is the concept called connection over perfection. Connection over perfection. Most of the times, we think that we need to make everything to look perfect before we show up. Most of the time, we think that we need to, look perfect. We think that we need to have everything in place before we show up. And sure, people might respect you. People might admire you. But the truth about being perfect when it comes to showing up is that it creates a distance. When you look very perfect online, subconsciously, people will begin to, in a way, distance themselves from you. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're in a place where they invited Burna Boy, or maybe they invited Frank Edward, or they invited Travis Green to sing somewhere. And then you are at that concert. Now, based on your perception about these people I mentioned, you already have a perception about them that they are, perfect people. In one way or the other, if you are given the chance to go and meet meet any of these people I mentioned, 90% of the time, you may not have the confidence to meet them. You see, subconsciously, when people appear to be perfect online, they create a distance within themselves. But when you prioritize connection, when you show up as a real human being, people will begin to connect with you. People will begin to see that, okay, people will begin to see that, okay, this person is someone I can relate with. I was giving an example. I was like, okay, maybe you went for an event and you saw Burna Boy somewhere. It could be Burna Boy, it could be Travis Green, it could be Rihanna, anyone, and then you are given a chance to network with any of them. Based on the images you have seen about these people online, in one way or the other, you may be scared to meet them. So imagine you telling yourself that you are waiting for the perfect picture to exist. You are waiting for the perfect video to exist. What you'll be creating in the mind of your audience is a person that is unrelatable, is a person that is unreachable. One thing you should understand is that your audience is not looking for a perfect person. They are looking for a real person. They are looking for you, a real person that understands them, a real person that understands them. So the shift I want you to take tonight is this. Stop trying to impress your audience with how smart you are. Stop trying to, create a perception that you are a perfect person. Stop trying to create a perception that you're a perfect person, because what you have now is enough for you to be able to give value to people. If you are following, I want you to type I am following. If you are following I want you to type I am following on the comment section. Are we getting value already? Are we getting value already? Okay, I can see our comments. Beautiful. Quite a number of people are following this evening. Amazing. Amazing. Now let's deal with some concepts, reframing the word fraud to facilitator. Now, the reason why sometimes you may feel as though you are not good enough to showcase your value is because you are most likely comparing yourself with the masters in your industry. You are most likely comparing yourself with the experts in your industry. So when you want to create a post, or when you want to create a a caption or even a design or a video, something within you may be telling you that you are not the top expert in the world, so you shouldn't say anything. That is called an expert trap. What it does is that it tells you that you need to know 100% of the answers before you are allowed to speak, but it is not so. The knowledge that you have, especially if you are an adult that have good or godly values, those knowledge is enough for you to be able to stretch out your hands to other people and assist them or help them by virtue of you posting and creating your content online. So I want you to subconsciously replace the word experts, change the word expert in your mind, change it to the word facilitator or the word guide. So a guide is simply, a guide doesn't really need to know everything before he begins to talk about what he knows. You only need to be one or two steps ahead of your colleagues. You only need to be one or two steps ahead of your clients in order for you to change their life. You only need to be one or two steps ahead in order for you to impact other people. You don't need to know everything. The fact that you are in chapter 4 of your life, someone else may be in chapter 1 of their life. So because you're in chapter 4, you have the knowledge that it takes to impact someone else. You have the knowledge that it takes to put out value on social media. Are we together? So you need to own the skills you already have right now. That is enough for you to start. I want to type on the comment section, I will own my skills. I will own my natural abilities. I will own my skills. I will own my natural abilities. because it is what you have that you can effectively give to others. I will own, OWN. When you own your skills, then you are not afraid of giving it out to other people to benefit from it. I will own my skills. I will own my abilities. I will own my skills. I will own my abilities. Yes, I can see some comment section. I can see some comments coming in. Beautiful. Now I've given us the background about how imposter syndrome has dealt with a number of us on this call. Now the next thing I'll be doing is to give you a walkthrough about how you can actually start showing up online, how you can actually start showing up on social media, how you can actually start showing up on any platform you are on effectively without you feeling the fear, without you feeling fear, or without you being afraid, or without you having the fear of being judged. Now, let's move on. Now, the first thing you can do, right, is for you to start with what I will call low stakes content. Because if you are afraid about posting big or large videos online, if you're afraid about posting technical things, there are certain things you can start with. You can start with your WhatsApp status. You can start with your Instagram story. The truth is that as long as you are good in one thing, that information is enough for you to get started, because your goal at this point is for you to develop the habit of posting or habit of showing up online. I wouldn't advise that you start with high production video on your feed. No. Start with something like your WhatsApp status, your Instagram stories, your Facebook story, because it trains your brain that posting is okay. At that point, or at this point of your life, what you are trying to do is to develop the habits, because once the habit has been formed, then it is easy for you to continue. I think about 3 months ago or a few months back, I started posting content on Mondays, Wednesdays, and I think Fridays. Before then, I had been showing up online, but I had not been very consistent. So what happened was that I was able to, because with posting 3 times a week was something within my control. So I did that consistently, I think for over 10 weeks, thereabouts. So I was posting Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Now, what now happened is that this year, I now noticed that it is easy for me to create and post content every day from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. It's now easy for me to create content every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, because I'm like, if I am consistent on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, then it's now easy. So you see, what I did the first time indirectly was me being able to train my mind to, get comfortable in posting on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. And the benefit of showing up online is that you don't know who is going to see what you post online and then reward you for what you have done. Many of us that are struggling to, get certain visibility, one of the things that is affecting or has affected us is our inability to stay consistent. And this is a strategy we can apply, or you can apply. You can start with your WhatsApp status, right? Your Instagram story, because consistency is key. When you are consistent in one aspect of your life, it gradually begins to spread towards another aspect of your life. So you begin to post on your WhatsApp story. You post it on Monday. If you don't have capacity to post on Tuesday, it's fine. It cannot just be a single WhatsApp slide and we together. It could be just maybe 2 WhatsApp slides that you post there. What you are doing, like I mentioned earlier, training your mind, training your understanding, right? You are training your faculty to understand that it's okay to show up. And when you do this consistently, a day will come whereby you wake up and you'll be like, I've not posted today. Are we together? So now the second tip you can apply in order for you to overcome this thing called imposter syndrome is to adopt the 80% rule, right? You can adopt, or we should adopt, the 80% rule. Most times we usually stress over, you know, making all our content to be 100% perfect before we even do anything, before we take it out there. But the truth is that if your content is 80% ready, if your content is 80% okay, it will still contain the same value that any viewer of that content will receive. I repeat, if your content is 80% good, it is good enough to change someone's life. If your content is 80% good, it is good enough to change someone's life. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, because most times we are indirectly waiting for the perfect time to come before we start showing up online. But it doesn't work that way if you want to overcome this thing called imposter syndrome. Why am I emphasizing that you should adopt the 80% rule? I'm emphasizing on this because, 80% of the content that you have, as long as it is valuable, as long as it is good enough, the people that will receive that content will get value from it. If you are following, I want you to type, I am following. I can see 17 people on the live session now. Wonderful. Wonderful. Have you gotten value so far? Have you gotten value so far? We have about 8 minutes before we can call it a wrap. How's the session been so far? I believe quite a number of us are taking notes. I hope we're not just listening. I hope we are writing down. We're writing down the lessons that we are learning this evening. Beautiful. I can see Margaret. I can see Amos. I can see HD Zilot. I can see Favor. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, the third thing we can do, or you can do, is to document your journey. If you are confused about what you should start posting about, if you are confused about the kind of things you can or you should begin to share, I want you to consider this, right? Consider sharing the things you are actually doing. That's the point. Third point. There was a time in my life when I was taking a lot of certifications, I was taking a lot of courses. So as at then, anytime I finish taking those courses, I'm going to post the certification online. That's one strategy you can also apply. There was a time when, if I was reading a book, I'm going to post, the cover of that book and let people know that I am reading a book. So all these things are things we all can do in order for us to gradually get to the point whereby, we overcome this concept called imposter syndrome. You can document your journey. If you are working on a project, if you are, working on a design, then when I was actively in graphic design, when I was, offering graphic design as a service to people, what I usually did then was, I would snap my laptop screen and, post it on my WhatsApp status. And, by so doing, people that need graphic design services in a way will get to know that I am into graphic design, and they will end up reaching out to me for my services. There was a time when if I was building a website, I would snap my laptop screen. These are just strategies you can apply. Because you may not know, maybe your potential employer is seeing what you are doing. Maybe your potential client is seeing what you are doing. I want you to be motivated by um this. I want you to be more okay. Let me not go ahead of myself. I wanted to say something, but that thing is in the next slide. I won't say it now. We're going to get to see it now. Now we're talking about the roadmap we can follow in order for us to start posting or creating content today. I mentioned something. I mentioned that you can start with low stake content. In other words, you can start with short content that won't take you up to 5 minutes to create. Things like posting on your WhatsApp status, right, can be fine. And then the second thing I mentioned is that you should adopt the 80% rule. What does this mean? As long as 80% of your content is fine, it doesn't have to be 100%. As long as 80% of your content is okay, it's fine for you to post it out there. Are we together? If it is 80% good, then it is good enough to change someone's life. And the third thing I mentioned is that you can document your journey. If you are confused about the kind of things you should or you want to start posting about, you can document your journey. You don't always have to come up with a perfect idea. By you sharing what you are doing, what you are reading, the project you are working on, the certifications you are taking, right? The books you are reading, the mistakes you even made that you are comfortable sharing, right? Those are a good starter for you. This is easier, it is more authentic, and it builds connection between you and your audience. Are we getting value so far? Are we getting value so far? We have about a few minutes to call it a night. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Love it. Now, the question you should ask yourself is that how can you measure your value? How can you measure yourself? Sometimes we usually measure our success or the success of our posts by metrics that are not good. We measure ourselves by metrics that are not okay. Things like the number of likes we get, the number of views we get, right? The number of follower counts we get by virtue of those posts. Sometimes we think that if our post doesn't go viral, then we have failed. No. I want you to adopt a new standard, right? Because in the digital business growth series, we focus on influence, income, and impact. The way you should measure your success shouldn't be by the number of likes you get. Success isn't having a million strangers like your post. Many people are online these days, and people that even post things that are not valuable, people that post profane things even get millions of likes today. Are we together? But for you that is with me on this session today, I want you to have another way through which you measure your success. Success is having about 10 people, or even less than 10 people, or even one person reaching out to tell you that, thank you, I needed to hear that. Thank you, I needed to read this caption or this post you made. You should measure your success, right, by listening to what people say. So your post should be able to ask this question: did I help one person today? That's how you should measure your success. Did my content, did my caption inspire someone today? Right? Am I building trust with the right people? Right? You don't need everybody to like your post. As long as you can get a person that resonated with what you shared, As long as you got a person that resonated with the impact you are making by virtue of your posts, then fine, you are good to go. You shouldn't measure your success by the number of likes you get, because even these days, if you have noticed the way the algorithm works, even though you post a content, for example, at the end of the day, you can just end up getting maybe 2 views, 10 views for some people. But there's a way Facebook do it. 10 people can like your posts, for instance. But if you go and check the analytics well, you can see that over 200 people may have seen that post. And the funny thing about this social media space is that people that are benefiting from your post most times will not even like or comment on it. Most times. Most times. Like I said earlier in the last slide, as long as you are 3 step or even 2 step or even 1 step ahead of someone, it is enough for you to create content within the knowledge or within your knowledge base. So, in conclusion, we've covered a number of things within the last 30 minutes. We've talked about, the waiting room. We've spoken about the expert trap, and we've also spoken about why humanity is the greatest asset, why your humanity is the greatest asset. We've spoken about why you need to be vulnerable. If you should take one thing out of tonight's session, let it be this: the world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs a real version of you. I want to remind you that you have value to share. There are people out there praying for the solution that you already have in your head right now. So you shouldn't allow fear keep them waiting any longer. You shouldn't allow fear to keep people waiting. Sorry, you shouldn't allow fear to keep you from posting content. I want to challenge you today or tonight. Post something that is imperfect within the next 24 hours. It could be a story, it could be a status, it could be a tweet, it could be anything. And don't forget, you can always tag me, because I will always want to be, I would like to be the first person to see that thing that you have posted. Any question, any question, any question. Yes, the world doesn't need the perfect version of you. It needs the real value of you. It needs the real version, not value. It needs the real version of you. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the real version of you. When you appear real, you make yourself to be easily connected to other people. When you appear real, you make yourself vulnerable. People will easily understand the kind of person that you are. Good. Any question? Yeah, so our activity for tonight, you can post one imperfect piece of content within the next 24 hours and tag me so that I can share you on. My name on all social media platforms is Calvin Karim Antonza. Calvin Karim Antonza. Any question? Once again, it was a wonderful time having us this evening. And we've gotten to learn how we can overcome imposter syndrome. Any question? Okay, Lovett wanted to ask a question. I've not seen it. Thank you so much for this question. Lovett just asked the question. Let me bring it up. It says, the social media space can be very overwhelming at times. How do manage posting on all platforms? I think you wanted to say, how do I manage posting on all platforms? Very good question. One thing I can advise you is that you can begin with your WhatsApp status. Start from somewhere. And when you start from somewhere, you gradually scale. You start from somewhere. In the session, we spoke about you easily beginning with your WhatsApp status. Start from one place. because what you are doing at this phase is you creating the habits. So it could be you starting from your WhatsApp status, or it could be you starting from Facebook. And by so doing, as you keep posting consistently, you are developing the habits. You are developing the habits subconsciously. And when you have now started consistently showing up on a single platform, something within you will want to expand to another platform. That's how it works. Something within you will now want to expand to another platform. Then gradually you begin to grow from a person that was posting on one platform to a person that is posting to multiple platforms. I hope I answered your question. Love it. Any other question? Any other question? It's been an amazing time sharing with us this evening. I believe we got value from today's session. You can follow us on our website, or you can follow us, on social media. My name on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can search for Calvin Karim Antonza. You'll see me there. On Instagram, the same thing. You can also follow our agency on social media. Cagitals is the name. We offer digital marketing services, graphic design services, and social media management services, and a number of others. I look forward to you implementing each and everything that you've learned this evening. See you at the top.